Alcaraz's striking confession about his relationship with Djokovic: "I don't talk to him." The Mercian and the Serbian have trained together at Wimbledon, sharing laughs and good vibes. Carlitos talks about the relationship he currently has with Novak. Carlos Alcaraz will play in the round of 16 at Wimbledon this Sunday against Russian Andrei Rublev. The Mercian has been gradually improving at the All England club and will be seeking a place in the quarterfinals against an opponent he has never faced on grass. Novak Djokovic is also advancing through the rounds. However, the Serbian will fight for a spot in the round of 16 against compatriot Miomir Kekmanovic this Saturday. It's worth noting that he would only face Alcaraz if both reached a hypothetical final. Carlitos spoke at a press conference about the relationship he has with Noel. "I've spoken with Novak many, many times. I've watched his matches, I've trained with him, and I've also seen some of his training sessions. However, we don't talk about tennis, matches, or things like that. I prefer to talk with him about other things, about life, not about tennis, honestly. I don't know how to answer that question. I try to learn a few things from his game, from the way he trains, from how he sometimes plays in matches, but always from an outside perspective, not because I talk to him or ask him questions about tennis. I love watching him play. I've loved every time I've trained with him, the way he moves, plays, and trains, but apart from that, I don't talk to him about tennis," Carlitos concluded. Alcaraz's elegant response to Kyrgios: "It's funny coming from him." The ups and downs of Ferrero's knee from the bench reflected his pupil's performance on court. There were highs and lows. Ultimately, the highs prevailed, and Carlos Alcaraz, after neutralizing Struff's hammer-like shots, secured his spot in Wimbledon's round of 16 with a 6-1, 3-6, 6-3, 6-4 win. Struff fits the archetype of a solid grass court player, but it wasn't enough to overcome an increasingly mature Alcaraz on this surface. The German can attest to that. This Carlitos plays with more control than the one he faced in 2022, also at Wimbledon. That battle extended to 5 sets and lasted over 4 hours. Alcaraz knew Friday's challenge wouldn't be easy against the veteran, but he handled it better than back then. After surviving Struff's onslaught, Alcaraz also dealt with a recent harsh criticism from Kyrgios, a player who is increasingly leaning toward the status of a former player who makes more noise with a microphone than with a racket. His latest act involves the Mercian and how the Spaniard approaches his tennis career. "I choose Sinner because Alcaraz loves girls. He could get distracted, party too much. Meanwhile, Sinner is more stable," Kyrgios claimed. Alcaraz responded with elegance after his win over Struff. "I saw his comments, they're funny coming from him. I'm not surprised at all. Everyone has their point of view," the Mercian began. "We've seen over the years that Sinner has fewer ups and downs than me. I've always said that's something I'm working on, but Yannick doesn't have so many ups and downs. He always plays very good tennis from beginning to end, and for me, it's a bit more difficult. It has nothing to do with nightlife, although I obviously like to enjoy myself. But yeah, those are funny comments that I sometimes laugh at," he added. Kyrgios jokes about the Alcaraz-Raducanu relationship: "I think it's a love triangle. Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu are becoming the hottest couple at Wimbledon 2025. The relationship that's generating buzz has even caught the attention of experts, such as Nick Kyrgios, who joked about a love triangle that includes Jack Draper as a surprise guest in the trending duo." Social media lights up every time Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu interact, and that hype has reached tennis analysts, like Nick Kyrgios on TalkSport. The Aussie, known for his peculiar sense of humor, weighed in on the off-court story of Wimbledon 2025, namely the duo formed by the Spaniard and the Brit. "I think it's a love triangle between Carlos Alcaraz, Emma Raducanu, and Jack Draper," said Kyrgios in remarks quoted by Mirror. "They are fighting over Raducanu, I'm not sure," he added jokingly about Alcaraz and Draper. Speaking more seriously, Kyrgios explained, "I don't know who's making her happy. According to the Australian, tennis fans love a love story and love trying to pair them up, referring to how many fans constantly link Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu as a couple. Carlos Alcaraz teaches a lesson to the student Oliver Tarvet, avoiding another Wimbledon scare. Carlos Alcaraz's march toward his third consecutive Wimbledon title continues smoothly after his second-round victory over English player Oliver Tarvet. The local player, with experience at the University of San Diego, put up a fight in the second set but eventually fell 6-1, 6-4, 6-4 once the Spaniard stepped up his game. Coming from college tennis, Tarvet entered ranked 719 in the ATP, a misleading position due to his limited professional experience despite his solid university background. Invited into the tournament, He made it through the qualifiers and shocked Swiss player Leandro Riti in the first round. Alcaraz didn't want to leave any room for surprises, especially after 4 top 10 players, Alexander Zverev, Lorenzo Musetti, Holger Rune, and Daniil Medvedev, were all eliminated in the first round of this Wimbledon edition. Alcaraz left no room for surprise at the start. The world number 2 also had to fight hard in a thrilling match against Fabio Fognini and showed in the first set that he wouldn't take any chances against a rookie. He dominated the first set 6-1, barely allowing the Brit to win points on his second serve, and despite having break points, Tarvet couldn't convert them. The second set was another story, and Tarvet showed up with his lesson well learned. He opened with a service hold and stunned Alcaraz with his first break, converting his 9th break point to go up 2-0, which thrilled the crowd, who wanted to see a local win, despite their love for the Spaniard. Tarvet even shouted "Vamos," showing his admiration for Rafa Nadal. That was all Alcaraz needed to get fired up and break back to 2-1. The balance continued until a surprising 4-4, after which Carlitos stepped up with 2 strong games to close the set 6-4 and enter the third with greater calm. The final set began evenly, but Alcaraz broke to go up 4-3. Tarvet didn't give up and held his last service game, earning applause from the crowd. But the Spaniard didn't falter and sealed the match, advancing to the third round at Wimbledon. Djokovic can't hold back anymore and confirms something unexpected about Carlos Alcaraz. Djokovic reveals an unexpected detail about the final Alcaraz played recently at Wimbledon. Novak Djokovic will make his debut this Tuesday at the All England club, aiming to win his 25th Grand Slam. The Serbian hopes to claim his 8th Wimbledon title, a tournament where he has always displayed his best form. The tennis world eagerly awaits, expecting another top-level performance from the current world number 1. Before his first match, Djokovic reflected on the last Grand Slam final, played between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner at Roland Garros. The Serbian admitted he didn't see the beginning of the match due to family commitments. He was out with his family, but they insisted on returning home so they could watch the final closely. The intensity of an unforgettable match. When he finally started watching, Djokovic said he went from being neutral to feeling highly emotional. He admitted that at first, he didn't support anyone and was just watching as a fan. But he soon got so into the match that he started sweating and feeling intense tension. Djokovic described it as one of the best matches he's ever seen, highlighting the incredible physical and mental level of both players. According to him, it was an unforgettable match that showcased extraordinary tennis. His respect and admiration for the new generation are more than evident. For the Serbian, watching such intense duels is a source of motivation. He clarified that he doesn't feel envious but rather driven to return to such demanding matches. This emotion pushes him to keep training and striving to stay at the top of the sport. Wimbledon, the perfect stage for a new chapter. The new generation, led by Alcaraz and Sinner, is putting on a show worthy of the sport's legends. Djokovic sees them as an opportunity to keep raising the standard of global tennis. He himself hopes to be part of these thrilling 5-set battles again. With this mindset, Djokovic arrives at Wimbledon hungry for victory and with his ambition intact. His experience and ability to face great challenges make him a top contender. The Grand Slam season is in full swing, and fans eagerly await his debut at the Cathedral of Tennis. Djokovic, favorite at Wimbledon, "It's my best chance to win the 25th Grand Slam." The Serbian can never be ruled out of any title fight, especially not at Wimbledon, where he's reached 6 straight finals, losing the last 2 to Alcaraz. Novak Djokovic is the last active player from the Big Three he formed with Nadal and Federer. At 38, the Serbian is still competing and plans to continue at least until the 2028 Olympic Games. He's not going through his best phase in tennis and sometimes struggles to beat opponents. In some tournaments, he's been eliminated early, and he seems a step behind in pace compared to Sinner and Alcaraz. Still, he keeps breaking records. He's won every tournament in the world and has claimed 100 titles in his career, including the record of 24 Grand Slam and 40 ATP Masters 1000 trophies. Now Wimbledon is approaching, where he has won the title 7 times, 4 of them consecutively. The Serbian can never be discounted for any trophy, especially not the Grand Slam on grass. He's reached 6 consecutive finals since 2018. In the last 2, 2023, 2024, he was defeated by Alcaraz. Djokovic knows that this Wimbledon 2025 could be his last train to grab his 25th Grand Slam and pull further ahead of Nadal's 22 and the rest. "Wimbledon could be my best chance to win the 25th Grand Slam due to the results I've had here, and also because of how I feel and how I've been playing here in recent years," the Balkan star told L'Equipe.